Hello and welcome to the Scorpio 2019 one card pull. So this is for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, and Scorpio Rising. So if you're a Scorpio Sun, you're born in October and November. If you're a Scorpio Moon, that's something you find out on a birth chart website, Cafe Astrology, and as well with your Scorpio Rising. So this is the second to last 2019 one card pull, and so I think it's going to be a good one. And I'll keep posting tarot scopes, but for new things, like for the moon phases, for different astrology signs, but I'm really excited that I got to go through all of the 12 astrology signs and channeling each sign to find a reading and find a card. So let's get started with the Scorpio. Oh, got a little bit aggressive with the shuffling. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. One last shuffle. Okay. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Wow. Can't make that up. Okay. I don't want to know what's on the bottom. I want to be surprised. Scorpio Sun. Scorpio Moon. Scorpio Rising. Okay. So now I'm going to pull and flip over the Scorpio Sun card. So those of you born in October or November, this card is for you. Okay. Judgment reversed. So I always think that Judgment is a kind of strange inclusion in the major arcana. Each deck has a really different depiction of judgment, and this one I think really plays on the kind of Judeo-Christian judgment because it has the horns being played, and I think that people always say that like horns are played when you go to heaven, when you meet God. And so I think showing these horns is kind of like a higher judgment, and it's kind of like reminding you that you can't judge others and you can't judge yourself, because that's what not God but higher power is for, because we are all equal and we don't really have the right to judge each other, which I think is really important to remember, especially Scorpio Suns, because Scorpio Suns are known for being super deep thinkers, and I think that can lead to judgment a lot because you are thinking so much. It's really easy for you to make a judgment about another person, and judgment isn't being annoyed with someone or somebody making you mad. Judgment is kind of assumptions when you don't really know someone, or when you do know people and you're judging their actions and thinking that you know better. And a lot of times judgment is things that are unsaid. And because it's in the reverse, I'd say you're doing this because you're judging yourself. Excuse me. I sneeze a lot. And so, because it's in the reverse, I'm saying that the judgment is getting to you and it might be causing you a little bit of harm, and you might be kind of internalizing things negatively. This is a person in the back, they're all trying to break away out of the dirt. This person in the center is rather peaceful because they look like they've gotten the most out of the dirt, and the dirt is the mind, and the dirt is cemented beliefs that you can't change. And this is in the reverse because you might have left 2018 with certain expectations, and not thinking you failed, but maybe thinking that you didn't do something enough, and you're judging yourself. And because it's in the reverse, it means you're judging others as well, because you're judging yourself and you're maybe not comfortable with yourself. And so, in a way to let go of this is to let go of judging and just maybe do a reflection on all of your successes of 2018, and do another writing reflection about things you are grateful for, because a lot of times when we find what we're grateful for, we can let go of the judgment, which is what we're not grateful for and what we're upset about on ourselves or other people. And so maybe if you find like you don't recognize it in yourself, you can write down about someone that you're judging a lot, all of their qualities that you appreciate. So doing some type of exercise so that you can let go of the judgment, because it's a mental pattern cemented in our brain that you might not be able to break out of. Okay, so that's Scorpio Sun. You guys have something to work on in the future. Now, Scorpio Moons, that is something that you can find on Cafe Astrology. We have the Nine of Wands in reversed. Okay, this is great for Scorpio Moons, who a lot of times are even harder on themselves than Scorpio Suns. And although it's in the reverse, this is a great card because it means that you're doing a lot of good things in your life. You are a water sign, but Mars is another ruling planet of Scorpio, and that means you have a fire energy within your water sign, and the wands are the fire card. It's my cat. And you have this symbol of courage. So because the moon is connected to the emotional side of us, your emotions, you're being very courageous. You're not giving yourself enough credit because it's in the reverse, but you have been courageous probably in your career, probably in your creative life, probably in your relationships. You're being creative on plenty of fields, which is why it's a 9 and it's in the wands, because it's exploding, and 9s are the number I've mentioned of pregnancy, not in the matrilineal form or not in the reproductive form, but pregnancy in the form of pregnant with a thought. So this means that you have been cultivating a lot of hard work internally, and you're not giving yourself enough credit. You may not be allowing yourself the resting time and the resting period for this pregnant thought to birth. So be patient. Courage. You have to have courage to be patient and to wait for these things to finally explode, because it is a wand card. The wands create something out of nothing, and so you've created something out of nothing. You've beaten the odds. You've come against maybe people's doubt, and now you're just gonna wait to show them what you can do magically with the wands. Okay, So now we're going to move on to the last card, Scorpio Rising. Okay, so the Scorpios have heavy fire energy around them right now. And Scorpio Risings, you have the King of Wands energy. And the rising sign is the first house, or the sign of how people perceive you, how you share yourself to the world. And the King of Wands is a little bit aggressive. He's a little bit judgmental. Just look at his face. He expects a lot to come through this wand. He expects a lot to happen. He has high expectations for creation. And I would say that's okay if it was in the upright, but because it's in the reverse, you might be expecting too much of people, and maybe also being a little bit entitled, because when you expect a lot of people, that comes from entitlement. Because why do you think you deserve something from them? Who are you to think you deserve something from somebody? King of Wands. You think you're the King of Wands. And Scorpio risings a lot of times don't share because their rising sign is Scorpio, which is very secretive. And so also this is connected to the reverse because you're not being completely open with others, but still expecting to receive. And expecting people to receive you because it's the king, and the king wants to rule, and the king wants to be received by his followers. If this was in the upright, I would say that your demeanor has become very demanding in a positive way, and you're taking on new responsibilities socially, which is rare for Scorpio risings. I would say this would be in the upright a great card to work towards, because Scorpio risings do need to work towards asking more openly. And so because it's in the reverse, I'm saying you're asking in your head and you're not sharing that with other people because it's in the reverse. But if it was in the upright, which is something, when you have this card around you, you can work towards this. See the little flower? You can bloom socially. You can bloom by opening to people, and you can bloom by being more commanding. Because although Scorpio risings do have a commanding presence, they are slightly underspoken and they are like I don't want to say underdeveloped, but they're just underspoken. I'm not sure if that's a word, but understated. Okay, sorry, that's what I was trying to say. Scorpio risings are rather understated. They're not going to say outright what they want all the time, which is the opposite of a King of Wands, fire. You can't ignore fire. You can't ignore a king. So you need to channel more of this unignorable energy, but not passively. You need to channel it directly. So I'm going to say that for Scorpios in 2019, they need to work towards moving the energy from inner fire to outer fire. And that's regardless of your chart. This is in your daily interactions. So if you identify with being a Scorpio rising in your daily actions, you can bring more outer fire. So a lot of reverse cards, all reverse for Scorpios, but all great things. You guys have things to work towards releasing judgment, work towards patience and acceptance, and work towards bringing out your inner fire. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe or leave a comment. Thank you so much.